how it seems, like I said in the other one, it's just about fueling ideas of her own self-importance. Look how important I am. Look at all this stuff I know. I am important. It reinforces the idea. Your eagerness to want to hear it reinforces the idea to these types of personalities, which again this is opinion. It's not fact. It's my opinion. It just reinforces the idea to them with your eagerness to watch and listen that they must be important. So they would believe that delusion then. They believe it because it's being reinforced. It's like when you say they don't matter. Say like when you're arguing with someone on social media and they're toxic or they are narcissistic and you say they're irrelevant, they don't matter, but you keep making videos about them. You reinforce the idea to them that they, yes, indeed do matter, and look at how important they are. Because if they weren't important, there wouldn't be this kind of reaction. And that's the most, going off again on a tangent, but that's the most difficult thing to learn within narcissists and trying to, I don't know another term for it, but I see like lots of people will have found somebody incredibly toxic and they will have a community of people that believe in this person that's toxic. They will believe in their lies and they won't see the manipulation. And you'll have people that will want to call that person out because they can't stand to see what is going on, the manipulation and the lies say, which who could? That would be a normal human reaction. But they end up getting into a battle with this toxic person or narcissistic person, and you will be locked in that battle for life. So what you have to look at is, in 2 years, what will this have achieved? Well, it won't have stopped them. It won't have made people pull away from them. Yes, one or two, right? One or two. But you're always going to find on social media that narcissistic personalities find support. They always find a crowd of people or flying monkeys of people that, for their own reasons, because some will be toxic themselves, some will be narcissistic themselves, some will be completely blind and gullible and not be able to notice that this person's lying to them. So the constant videos and the constant comments about them, all it does is reinforce the idea to them that yes, they are relevant, and yes, they do matter, and yes, they are driving you insane because you can't stop talking about them. And that is part of the key to understanding narcissism. When you really understand narcissism, you don't do those things. You don't get locked into those type of battles because you know that they're unwinnable by fighting that way. All right. I know it, like, people find it hard to let go. Well, I can't stand watching it. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to all the lies they're saying. Blah, 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 blah. Making a couple of videos is enough. You cannot save other people. You're not put on this earth to save other people. It isn't your responsibility for you to be saving other people. It isn't your responsibility to be trying to warn people. It's just not your responsibility at all. And it's a complete, like, when you're getting healthy and getting into a more healthier headspace, that would be a total boundary breach. So if you were within your boundaries, like living within your healthy boundaries, constantly attacking or trying to fight narcissistic or toxic people on YouTube, you would have learned the better reaction for your own sense of peace, which should be more important than fighting them, comes before fighting them. Your own sense of peace comes first, rather than putting, I need to warn these people, so I'm going to put myself in a position where I can be hurt, doxed, have my real life affected, simply because I want to save people that haven't told you they want saving. Most of the ones you try and alert to the fact that they're being manipulated don't want to know. They look at you like they're crazy, like you're crazy. Trust me, I know. I'm like, when I'm talking about these, I'm speaking about them from an experienced point of view. Like, we're talking years of doing unhealthy things. I didn't just do it once. I have learnt the long lesson. That's why I'm so eager and passionate about just having these kinds of conversations and talking about narcissism, because I have wasted nearly 4 decades trying to fix, heal, help, keep comfortable other people. It's not my job. It's nobody else's job to do that for other people either. You have to let people learn for themselves. And oftentimes the mind, right, telling the mind something, as you'll know in real life, sometimes you have to do it to either understand it or to learn how not to do it. Okay, so when you're just trying to ram this information down people on the internet, ram this information down their throats, that person over there is toxic, that person over there is toxic, and you've got an expectation that they're going to listen to you and move away from that person, this is just not healthy. It's in no way, shape or form, and people don't like hearing it, right? They want to take the narcissist down, they want the narcissist to have revenge, they want the narcissist to have their vengeance and feel the freaking fire that they've got burning for them. But the only person that you end up burning out is yourself, because if you do understand the narcissist, then you will know that the more you engage them, you actually make them become worse, because the more you keep pushing them, well, you trying to confront them and forcing them to be accountable, we already know that they've got a disorder, a thinking disorder, so they can't be accountable. It doesn't matter how much evidence you show. It doesn't matter if God himself comes down and gives them a whole big book of everything that they've done wrong that they need to be accountable for. The narcissist can't be accountable. Think Darrell Brooks. That's the type of brain you're working with and trying to be reasonable with and trying to what? Teach not to be toxic. That's the lunacy of us when we're doing those things. That was the lunacy of me when I had that kind of mindset. Oh, you know, he's got a new partner, he's going to abuse her, he's going to do the same things he did to her. Yep, he did to me, he's going to do them to her, right? And oftentimes when you just come into that awakening of what you've got away from and you realise there was someone else, you think, holy shit, well, I wish somebody had told me this sooner. And you'll want to tell the new girlfriend or the new boyfriend of the narcissist all about the crazy person they're actually with. The only person that ends up looking crazy is you, not them, okay? Things have to sometimes pass through a course of time, and they have to follow their natural order of things. People have to be allowed to wake up to things on their own. People have to be allowed to have that choice to decide, do they want to stick around, do they not, right? People have the choice to not want to be involved in any of that kind of fuckery, because I avoid it like the plague now. When I first came to YouTube, I'd see it all over, and I've been in chats a lot more and stuff like that. But like, I've learnt my lesson. It doesn't, like, calling the behaviour out without calling the person out is like kind of a better or a healthier way of doing it, because you're not engaging them or trying to have a fight with them or wind them up or piss them off. I mean, that's the last thing you want to do. If there are narcissistic, if you believe there are narcissistic people around you on YouTube, the smart thing to do is treat them as though you don't know. Treat them as though you've no idea, okay? Keep your boundaries. That's where they're not going to be able to take advantage of you, because you've got your boundaries, right? So if they start trying to milk you for money or telling you sob stories, you've got your boundaries intact. They're not going to break through those boundaries, because you're going to give them realistic and healthy advice instead of taking on their emotional burdens and feeling responsible as though you have to fix their problems, right? So you're going to have sorted all that out from the inside out. But fucking around with those kinds of personalities, it gets you nowhere in the long run. Nowhere. Take it from one that spent almost 4 decades doing all the wrong things. All the wrong things. Don't waste your life and your time. There are more beautiful things to be doing, even if it's just sitting outside and enjoying the nature or enjoying a moment of the day. There are much more healthier things to do and look at than trying to warn people that is a narcissist, they are toxic. And do you know like being engaged in that hardcore fight and